Hey guys, it's Libby, and as you may have heard me mention, I'm going to be moving relatively soon. Actually, this video is going to take like forever to edit, so it's possible that I'll be in a new house by the time this video gets put up. So I wanted to do a bookshelf tour of this current bookshelf before it goes away and gets changed. I currently have 135 books on this shelf, 55 of which are unread, which I think is pretty impressive. And just for the purposes of that count, I counted bind-ups as separate books. My shelves are organized alphabetically by author, and then within each author, if I have multiple books by them, if I just have one series, then I just do the series in chronological order. But otherwise, I just have sort of made up my own system. So let's go take a look, shall we? So all the way over here I have my bookmark collection, and then my first book is Flatland by Edwin A. Abbott and Sphereland by Diana Sperger. The Ultimate Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams, which includes the novels Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, The Restaurant at the End of the Universe, Life, the Universe, and Everything. Oh crap, I always forget this one. So Long and Thanks for All the Fish, Mostly Harmless, and the short story Young Zaphod Plays It Safe. This is a Greek edition of The Frogs by Aristophanes. I used it when I was a student, so you can see all my notes. The Devil's Dictionary by Ambrose Bierce. Unspoken by Sarah Rees Brennan, Book 1 of the Lindburn Legacy. Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. Through the Woods by Emily Carroll. Some old school editions of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass by Lewis Carroll. The Ghost Bride by Yang Ji Chu. Artemis Fowl, The Arctic Incident, Artemis Fowl, The Eternity Code, Artemis Fowl, The Opal Deception, and Artemis Fowl, The Lost Colony by Ewan Colfer. I think that's how you say his first name. And these are the first 5 books of the Artemis Fowl series. The Meaning of Night, A Confession, and The Glass of Time by Michael Cox. These are the only 2 books of the Meaning of Night trilogy that were published before Michael Cox died. Mrs. Poe by Lynn Cullen. And last one in this shot, Histoire de la Marquise Marquis de Banneville, which was edited by Joan Dijon and is by François Timoleon de Choisy, Marie-Jeanne Laritier, and Charles Perrault. This is a French edition. Moving over here, we've got Don't Look Now, a collection of short stories by Daphne du Maurier, Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, and The Infernal World of Branwell Bronte by Daphne du Maurier. The Book of Strange New Things by Michel Faber, The Crimson Petal and the White, and the companion short story collection The Apple by Michel Faber, The Courage Consort by Michel Faber, which includes the novellas The Courage Consort, The 199 Steps, and The Fahrenheit Twins. Some Rain Must Fall, a collection of short stories by Michel Faber. The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald, back when books only cost $1.25. Bitter Greens by Kate Forsyth. The Somnambulist by Essie Fox. The Princess Bride by William Goldman. And Grimm's Complete Fairy Tales by the Brothers Grimm. Moving down here, we have Tess of the D'Urbervilles by Thomas Hardy. A bind-up of Nutcracker and Mouse King by E.T.A. Hoffman, and The Tale of the Nutcracker by Alexandre Dumas. Selections from The Iliad by Homer in Greek. The condensed version of Les Miserables by Victor Hugo. The Seas by Samantha Hunt. Enchanted, the first book of the Woodcutter Sisters series by Alethea Contis. Winter Spell by Claire Legrand. The Phantom of the Opera by Gaston Leroux. Volumes 1 and 2 of the bind-ups of The Princess Tales by Gail Carson Levine. The first one includes The Fairy's Mistake, The Princess Test, and Princess Sonora and a Long Sleep, and the second one has Cinderellas and the Glass Hill, For Biddle's Sake, and The Fairy's Return. The Light Ages by Ian R. MacLeod. Confessions of an Ugly Stepsister by Gregory Maguire. The Affinity Bridge, The Osiris Ritual, The Immortality Engine, and The Executioner's Heart, books 1 through 4 of the Newberry and Hobbs Investigation series by George Mann. Reader's Block by David Markson. Cinder by Marissa Meyer. Emma Gansett and The Savage Garden, which I'm currently reading, by Mark Mills. The Queen's English, an A to Z Guide to Distinctively British Words by C.J. Moore. The House at Riverton and the Distant Hours by Kate Morton. 1984 and Animal Farm by George Orwell. The Heroides and the Metamorphoses by Ovid. The Long Earth and the Long War by Terry Pratchett and Stephen Baxter, the first 2 books of the Long Earth series. Okay, and now we are into my collection of Discworld novels. I have them organized by sub-series, so I'll just give them to you one sub-series at a time. First one is the Rincewind sub-series, and it consists of The Color of Magic, The Light Fantastic, Sorcery, Eric, Interesting Times, The Last Continent, The Last Hero, which is too big to fit anywhere, and Unseen Academicals. Then in the Witches sub-series, we have Equal Rights, Weird Sisters, Witches Abroad, Lords and Ladies, Masquerade, and Carpe Jugulum. Moving right along, we have the Tiffany Aching sub-series, and the ones from that I own are The We Free Men, my one random hardcover of A Hatful of Sky, and Wintersmith. And now a couple of standalones. We have The Amazing Morris and His Educated Rodents, Pyramids, and Small Gods. Then we have the Death sub-series, which consists of Mort, Reaper Man, Soul Music, Hogfather, and Thief of Time. Then a couple more standalones, Moving Pictures, The Truth, and Monstrous Regiment. Then we have the Moist von Lipwig sub-series. I only own the first book, Going Postal. And finally, the Ankh-Morpork City Watch sub-series. Guards, Men-at-Arms, Feet of Clay, Jingo, The Fifth Elephant, Night Watch, and Thud. Okay, over to books that aren't by Terry Pratchett. Up here, because it's too tall to fit anywhere else, is Rebel Spring by Morgan Rhodes, the second book in the Falling Kingdom series, and the only one that I own. I should probably fix that. And then some of you may know what this is. It is the Harry Potter series by J.K. Rowling. I'm not going to take these all out, because you should know what they are. So first we have a collection of tragedies by Seneca. It has his Trojan Women, Thyestes, Phaedra, Medea, and Agamemnon. The French edition of Le Petit Prince by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. Song of the Sparrow by Lisa Ann Sandel. Cocktails for Book Lovers by Tessa Smith McGovern. Bellman and Black by Diane Setterfield. The 13th Tale by Diane Setterfield. I Capture the Castle by Dodie Smith. The Beatrice Letters by Lemony Snicket, a companion book to the series of unfortunate events, and Shouldn't You Be in School, the third book in the All the Wrong Questions series. And in case you're like, Libby, why do you have such random books by Lemony Snicket? The other ones I have on my Kindle. The Innamorati by Midori Snyder. The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde and Other Stories by Robert Louis Stevenson. An illustrated edition of The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. In the Night Garden by Catherine M. Valente, the first book in the Orphan's Tales. I believe it's just a duology. My Latin edition of the Aeneid. The Golem and the Genie by Helene Wecker. And a collection of Greek lyric poetry translated by M.L. West. And then over here is where I charge my camera when I'm not using it. And then this side of the shelf is just my Marion Zimmer Bradley collection and then foreign language textbooks. So we have The Forest House, Lady of Avalon, Priestess of Avalon, which was written with Diana L. Paxson, and The Mists of Avalon, which are all of the books in the Avalon series that Marion wrote herself. After she died, there were more written by Diana L. Paxson. And then these have pretty boring covers, so I'll just tell you what they are. We have the Little Little, as opposed to the Middle Little and the Great Scott. For those of you in the know, which is a Greek-English lexicon. Athena's Day, books 1 and 2, which is a Greek textbook. My Introduction to Latin by Dr. Shelmerdine, which I use so much I lost the cover of. Le Roman d'Aeneas, which is by an anonymous author, and this edition has the Old French on one side and the Modern French on the other. The Historical French Reader, Medieval Period, which is a collection of old French writings. And this book I got used. It was originally owned by Lionel J. Friedman. So if you're out there, Lionel, hi. An Introduction to Old French, and then little tiny grammar books for French, Modern French, and German. So, those are all of the books that I own in physical form. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. And oh gosh, it's going to take me so long to edit this.